We had an inkling that the show was going to be going to Broadway when the off-Broadway offer came in, and I was actually at jury duty. And I was trapped in a courtroom for about 2 hours, unable to answer or check my phone, and I was dying inside. My name is Sherz Aletaha. I was just recently in the Tony Award-winning revival of Merrily We Roll Along. The audition process started in May of 2022. We had a wild audition process of I think I went in 4 times in 1 week, and then found out in May. We started off Broadway in the fall of 2022, and then Broadway in the summer of 2023. I played a track that was named Scotty, Mrs. Spencer, and auditionee, one of the unhinged auditionees in The Fabulous Opening Doors. And I understudied sweet angel, Tony Award-winning goddess, Lindsay Mendez as Mary Flynn. We luckily had such a great company, and everyone was so supportive and generous. That made it really fun. And our audiences were great. And I also have to give props to every single person that works at the Hudson Theater, because I know for a fact that people would open up their playbills and see that little white slip, and they'd be like, no, she's great. You're going to love her. Stay, stay, stay. And they would hype me up, which I thought was the nicest thing ever. When I found out about it, that was mind-blowingly kind of them. But I kind of always felt like, give me just a few minutes at the top of the show. Let me try to win you over. And then hopefully I can just enjoy and play. And for the most part, that was the experience.
All right. Now you know, life is crummy, well now you know. I mean, big surprise, people love you and tell you lies.
I remember waiting to go on in my first entrance, and in the wings, Dan and I faced each other. And I remember he looked at me and gave me here we go, we're about to make the entrance. And I was just okay. And then I came to bows. I remember bows. I definitely had an identity crisis I'm literally digging my fingers into my skin thinking about it, the times that I would be on stage and my mind would go blank because it was at the matinee, you were Scotty and tonight you're Mary, don't get up. And it's Sondheim. It sounds kind of the similar, but it's very different in the rhythms and tempos and half steps here or there or whatever. So that for me was very stressful, but I also love that song. It's so good.
Every now and then, or you'll never grow. Because now you grow. That's the killer, is now you grow. You're right, nothing's fair and it's all a plot. And tomorrow doesn't look too hot, right? You better look at what you got over here. Hello. Okay, now you know, right?
We had an inkling that the show was going to be going to Broadway when the off-Broadway offer came in, and I was actually at jury duty. And so I couldn't answer my phone. And I knew that the call that was coming was either very good news or very sad news. And I was trapped in a courtroom for about 2 hours, unable to answer or check my phone, and I was dying inside. I could not tell you anything about this court case. I just blanked. I literally blacked out, just counting down the seconds until they let me leave. And I ran out of the courthouse. I immediately called my reps, and they gave me the good news, and they're like, why are you so quiet? And I was just trying not to scream, and I was like, I'm surrounded by government buildings and police officers. I can't make a scene right now. But it was truly hilarious. It was the week of Thanksgiving last year was when I went on for the first time. Such a whirlwind of emotions to go on for the first time. Super, super excited, completely nervous. I've understudied one other time in my life, and the same thing happened when I got last minute notice that I was going on in that show, which was just my brain kind of went into hyper-focus mode, and there was just nothing else around me, nothing else to focus on. And so I went home, I sent an email to family and friends who had told me tell us if you're going on, please, please, please. And I sent an email being I'm going on, I have no other information for you, and I'm now shutting my phone off because I'm going to do the show in my living room 5 times. Best of luck trying to get a ticket. And these angels somehow got tickets. They're amazing. I'm the luckiest person ever. I had like 10 people who were able to come to that performance, that first show. I got hyper-focused, hyper-intense about running the show in my living room on my own. Got to the theater really, really early, ran a few quick changes, walked a couple of little traffic things. I'm the luckiest that I was up there with Jonathan Groff and Dan Radcliffe, who are 2 living, breathing angels. They are truly so kind, so generous. And anytime I would tell them that, they would always like brush it off. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. We've all heard the horror stories of like celebrity diva behavior on Broadway, especially towards an understudy, and you know, don't mess up my performance, don't mess up my show. And they could not have been more game, could not have been more supportive. They just kept checking in with me about like, what do you need? Can we do anything for you? And I was just like, who are you 2? And we just had so much fun. I think we had fun. I kind of blacked out. I don't remember that first show. I thought it would be a miracle if I went on once. So the fact that I got to go on many times was ridiculous. Lindsay was incredible and so kind and so supportive, and there was like rarely a time that I didn't hear from her when I went on, asking like, did you have fun? How did it go? I'm thinking of you, like break legs. And she needed to be home like resting with her family or doing whatever she needed to take care of herself in that moment. And she had, you know, the capacity to reach out to me and check in on me. It was just, it meant so much. And she was so kind and so supportive. And I hope we all get to understudy people like that. And I hope I get to like pay that forward to somebody one day and be kind to them in that way, because it was really inspiring.
Oh boy and oh girl, only 2 remain. I feel joy.
From one of my dream shows, Spelling Bee, Ronalisa's song, Favorite Moment of the Bee. I'm dying to play Ronalisa Peretti in Spelling Bee. I love Will Finn's music. I think it is so dreamy to sing, and it's funny, and it's just like, it's all there when you're acting. I feel the same way about Michael John LaChiusa. Anything that he will write or let me perform in, I would die.
I hear triumphant sounds of timpani. It's my favorite moment of the bee.
The most surprising thing about working on Broadway is that it is a job at the end of the day. We all idealize it and we think it's going to be like, you'll walk through that stage door and it'll be the most magical thing you've ever done in your entire life. And there are days where it is that, absolutely. But there are days where it's also just a job and you're tired, or you had a hard day, or you got in a fight with your boyfriend and now you have to go to work and blah. Like, that is also the reality that we don't think about. For some reason, we think like the magical gates of the stage door open and there's no problems. No, there's still problems, the way that there are problems with every job. But I will say that no matter what, at that downbeat, the second we started singing that opening number every night, like all the problems actually did fade away. And that part was really cool, that no matter what other bullshit was happening, no matter what other drama, chaos, whatever was happening in life within that building or outside of it, when I started performing, that always felt incredible. And I knew, I was like, nope, there's nothing else I would rather be doing in this moment.
He wanted a girl who hates dusty roads. He wanted a girl who cries porcelain tears. He wanted a girl who put locks on the doors to protect all those gemstones she's got in her ears. But I am a girl who likes dusty roads, 'cause I am a girl who enjoys the outside, yeah. I was that girl who could keep up with him and would follow him anywhere he chose to ride. And we would ride barrel-assing through the gullies, pitching tents and chewing jerky, showing off our scratches and...
Not enough people sing Michael John LaChiusa. He wanted a girl from Giant, because it's so beautiful and I love it, and not enough people do Michael John LaChiusa. Theaters, produce it, please. It's so beautiful.
He wanted a girl who hates dusty roads. He found him a dusty roads, their hearts was meant to fit. So I'll be the fiddle playing, bourbon drinking girl who learned to live with it.
My dear, dear friend Rona Siddiqui has been working on a musical for years called Salam Medina, Tales of a Afghan. And we have been developing this fabulous show for 6-7 years, if not more. Like, someone give us money, please. It's really good. It's very funny, and her music is amazing. And working with her and Raja Feather Kelly, who's the director of it, it would just be a dream. And our cast, we've all become so close over the years working together. That would be a dream experience to like have come true fully. My advice to aspiring performers is to like just figure out your own path. Everyone's going to tell you how it's supposed to happen. Everyone is going to tell you what you should be doing or shouldn't be doing. Sing this, not that. Wear this, not that. Say yes to this job, not that. There is no formula. There is no one size fits all. Everything that everyone told me was the way to get to Broadway was not how I got to Broadway at all. It was a very unique path, and I'm very grateful for it. And the more that I allowed myself to do what felt good to me and do what felt true to me, that's when success started to happen versus me trying to like, let me fit myself into these cookie cutters that people are telling me I have to be. None of it ever worked for me. And the more I just let myself be, the more this industry tends to accept me, which is really, really amazing.
Thanks to our incredible guests for sharing their talents with us, to Tao Group and our gorgeous venue, the Silver Lining Lounge in New York City, and to you for joining us at And That's Showbiz. We have a lot of Broadway content coming your way, so don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you thought and what guests you want to see in the comments. And we'll see you in the next one.